So the weather just turned nice, and I went out to my uncle's place, my wife's uncle's place, and I said, hey, we're going riding today. He said, no, I'm not. I said, yeah, you are. So now he's getting his jacket on, and we're gonna take the CBR 1000 and the VTR 1000. I don't know where, but we're gonna go somewhere today. But both bikes are dirty as hell. Look at these wheels. Yikes. I'm so sorry. Still riding with Uncle Chan. What I wanted to talk about today was recently I saw this Netflix documentary called Making a Murderer. I don't know if you've seen it. If you haven't, you should see it because it was really interesting. It was like 10 episodes, but I marathoned this thing. Oh snap! Here's a tunnel. Anyways, it's about this guy that basically, you know, depending on how you feel, but this guy got really just jacked around by the justice system. Spent a lot of time in jail that he didn't need to spend. Basically, got framed for something that I don't know. I think whether he did or didn't do it, I think there was some foul play by the police. Anyways, it got me thinking about Japanese justice system, what it would be like to spend time in Japanese prison or jail. So I did a little bit of research, and it was God, it was a lot. There's a lot of bullshit in the Japanese justice system. I was reading a Reddit thread. Somebody didn't ask me anything. I said I've been to Japanese jail, ask me anything. It was basically what happened was this guy had a friend in the States. I don't know where he was from. I imagine he was from the States, and they used to smoke drugs. Oh, not smoke drugs. I sound like a fucking old ass man. Used to smoke weed. So when this guy moved to Japan, his friend thought it would be nice to send him a package full of edibles. But you know, marijuana is a super big no-no in Japan. So, but I mean, the guy didn't ask for the weed. Why is it wet, so wet inside of this tunnel? The guy didn't ask for the weed, but his friend sent him a package full of edibles, and customs got the package. They basically went to his house and they said, you know, what do you know about this package? He said, I don't know anything about it. They said, you know, they basically interrogated him, and they said, okay, they confiscated his computer, they confiscated a bunch of this. This is just because somebody sent weed to his house. They confiscated all of his stuff, and they said, okay, we're gonna swab down your house to see if we can find any evidence that you've smoked here or whatever. And I don't recall if he did or didn't, but what I remember reading in the article was that, you know, in America it's innocent until proven guilty. In Japan it's basically the opposite. You're guilty until proven innocent. Like if they find evidence, I guess this is where our story takes a break. Alright, so Uncle Chan's taking a shit, so what that means is that you guys asked me to get off the bike more, so I'm gonna get off the fucking bike. Oh, there's a lot of waterfall over there. Basically, if they find evidence that he'd been smoking, he is screwed. But if they find evidence that he hasn't been smoking, they don't care. They only care about the evidence that leads towards some sort of prosecution or conviction. So they didn't find anything at his place, and about 3 weeks later they come to his house and they arrest him. And in Japan you don't need any kind of, the police don't need a reason to arrest you here. They can legally detain you for about, I think it's 3 weeks before, and if they don't have anything on you after 3 weeks, they can't do anything at that point. But no matter what, they can legally have you in a jail cell, you know, as a prisoner for 3 weeks. So they arrested him. Like I think he said it was a couple months after this whole thing went down. He described jail life, and it was pretty, I don't know, I almost would rather be raped in the butt than deal with what this guy went through. So I'll talk about that when I get back on the bike. Okay, so basically what he said Japanese jail consists of. You got your morning time, like you wake up and the police question you for like 4 hours. You have your lunch and the police question you for about 4 more hours, and then you got time to read a book, and that's all. You're not allowed to speak. So he was like I said, I think he was American. He was not allowed to speak English, and even like, and there were times where you are allowed to speak and where you are not allowed to speak. Like just 3 weeks of being interviewed for like 8 hours a day, 6 hours a day. I don't recall what it was. And not just like, where were you? I was here. It was just like, wow. Like basically the police were just saying like, wow, you're really a scumbag if you smoke marijuana, huh? Wow, I bet your family is really disappointed in you, right? Like they're basically just trying to break you for 3 weeks, which is so ridiculous when, so basically the way the justice system works here is that so much of a crime depends on a confession. So a lot of what they are trying to do is just trying to get you to confess whether you did it or not. And a lot of people have said that sometimes it's better to just confess to what you did or to what you didn't do, just so that you can get out of jail, and you can, because otherwise they're going to keep your ass in jail for the full 3 weeks even if you didn't do anything. I don't know, it's pretty fucked over here. Like there's a lot of murders over here that I've heard that are ruled as suicides. Japan's crime rate on paper seems like it's really, really good, but of course it's going to look really good when a lot of your murders are documented as suicides. So anyways, the guy, and pretty soon this guy was just started, they were trying to make him sign papers in Japanese that he didn't know how to read. They were basically just trying to trick him in any kind of way, no respectable way, but they just wanted to get him to officially say that he was some pot-smoking freak. And yeah, so eventually he stayed strong and he didn't buckle, and the police let him go. But that was 3 weeks of his life. I mean, yeah, that's 3 weeks of his life gone. And basically just 3 weeks of the cops saying you're an asshole and you're a dickhead and that nobody likes you and you're stupid and you're a poopy head. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. So I'm not saying Japan is not a safe place, and obviously the laws are doing what they need to do and the police are doing what they need to do to an extent, because I never feel like I'm in danger when I'm in Japan. I haven't felt sketched out by, walking down the street. I wouldn't hesitate to ask my wife to, run to the convenience store at 3 o'clock in the morning to grab something. Or if she said she was going, I wouldn't think twice about it, because it's a safe place. But just because it's working doesn't mean that everything is perfect, and there's the Japanese justice system is definitely a little bit fucky. I am HO. Alright, that was that. I hope you like listening to my voice. I hope you like listening to my pretty voice today. Bye bye.